Okay, so it's time for the final two seasons of Degrassi. Next class, seasons 3 and 4. The third season of Next Class was January 9th, 2017, for 10 episodes. They had to deal with sex, abortion, immigration, depression, ODD, depression, traumatic brain injury, dysfunctional families, sexuality, homophobia, hormones, religion, protests, disability, cystic fibrosis, life-threatening diseases, and suicide attempts. So in the 10 episode thing, Grace appeared 10 times. Snake only appeared twice. Wow. Jonah was in 10, and that was all who were in 10. So it started on January 9th. Hashtag break the internet is when one student is unable to return for the start of the school year because of the accident. So he takes a brave step, and a jealous Lola lashes out at Shay. So he takes a brave step. Anyway, Woke Up Like This was the second episode, and the Gamer Club's plan to attract female viewers backfires. Maya has an interest in tragedy porn, and Esme has a dark burden she's carrying. It was kind of weird seeing, Maya interest in tragedy porn. After all, she nearly died in the bus crash. Worst gift ever was when Shay suffers a feminine mishap. Jonah and Grace try to get a play about the bus accident, while Molly finds it hard to continue visiting Tristan. And Goldie suggests being struggles with being Muslim in a non-Muslim culture. Picks or it didn't happen. It was the fourth episode. Frankie thinks that Jonah is hiding something. Maya meets a student who shares her dark interest. Next is huge if true is when Hunter, VJ, and Bass try to measure up to one another. That feeling when is next when Zoe and Winston want a date with Rasha. And a development at the hospital stresses out Miles, and Frankie decides to stalk Jonah. Next is unsubscribe when Grace doesn't know about her health. Rasha's first date goes awry, and Hunter's embarrassment, and Zoe is in an intimate moment. Next is I Regret Nothing is when Lola finds out she's pregnant thanks to Miles and decides to get an abortion. Tristan makes progress on being okay. Maya sinks further into depression, and Miles thinks the play will be too revealing. Next is Woke. Hashtag woke. When Maya comes to a plan to stop her terrible behavior, Zoe makes a bold statement at her mom's wedding. And Frankie's caught violating people's privacy. And then I'm Sleep is when Tristan tries to see the play firsthand. Rasha comes out to Goldie, and Maya has a misguided plan to take pills, fall asleep on the bus, and then die. But Maya thinks it's not working, but doesn't give the pills enough time to work, and then basically tries to jump off the roof. But then the pills come back. Season 4 also had 10 episodes, right? Yep, it had 10 episodes. On June 30th, 2017. And it dealt with mental health, depression, ODD, cystic fibrosis, gender identity, sexual identity, acceptance, faith, terrorism, disability, sex, hate crimes, and more. Lola appears in all 10. Snake only gets 1 episode, which was the finale. Jonah is in all 10. Grace is in all 10. So anyway, the season had a graduation for Next Class. 10 characters, the largest since Degrassi High graduated in season 4. Tiny, Grace, Winston, Jonah, Miles, Maya, Tristan, Goldie, Sig, and Zoe. Whereas Esme would not graduate. Back to Reality started season 1 when Grace and Jonah decide to keep a relationship on the down low. Tristan starts back slowly at school and Esme is willing to do whatever it takes to keep Sig in her life. Get Money was second, and Frankie was uploading some questionable posts on her social things, and Esme encouraged her to do her persona. Next is I Look Like A, When Goldie flirts with Winston, he doesn't even know it. Miles questions a post-grad opportunity that's too good to be true. Episode 4 is Roll Up to the Club Lake because of the terrorist attack in Brussels. The Muslim students at Degrassi find themselves in some heated situations. Preach It was next. Syed is torn between his own beliefs and the solidarity for Brussels. And Frankie doesn't know if hanging with Esme and Sig is good for her. Facts only is when Yale feels like an identity overhaul is needed and turns to Lola for help. Maya auditions for a charity talent show. Hashtag fires win. What starts out as a grad camping getaway with Sig, Tiny, Jonah, Grace, and Maya turns into a bigger deal when Frankie, Esme, Shay, and Lola latch on. Get you a man that can do both. Deals with Tristan and others thinking that his turbo mode recovery might not be a good idea. Shay hopes Tiny will give a proposal to her. Obsessed is when the senior prom is delayed due to an emergency. And Esme's furious when prom doesn't go exactly as she hoped. Practically she's pissed off. Yeah, practically Esme is pissed off that Sig is with Maya, even though it was by accident. And Maya tried her best to get Sig to get to Esme. The code word emergency is some kind of bomb threat. They assumed Bias and Syed. The Bias was behind this because of his Muslim faith, but it wasn't. It was Esme the whole time. Kay Thanks Bye was the series finale. And basically, Degrassi holds graduation for the class of 2016, and so he doesn't know how much support she'll get because of her valedictory speech. Basically, her mom doesn't want anything to do with her because of the gayness. It's 50% that Zoe's not getting roles because her mom relies on her for being a cash cow, and 50% basically about the Catholic religion not really liking gay people. So practically what ends up happening is that Esme tries to get towards Sig, but she breaks down and beats him up and basically is told to get into therapy. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen. They do a nice montage at the end. Sig and Maya are headed to California. Winston and Miles are touring Europe. Winston is with Goldie, becoming the new power couple. We see a girl in the hospital and all that, but we find out that it was Grace. Grace ended up having her lung transplants to cure her cystic fibrosis and all that. Other characters like Zoe and Rashad go have some fun with each other and all that. But practically, yeah, it was the end of an era, a Degrassi era. So for my MVPs for both season 17 and 18, season 17 is Maya because, Maya went through a whole lot of shit to do with, her depression and all that. And it seemed like, there were things that could happen at any time. So anyway, yeah, it was huge. So, yeah. The thing about things is that, yeah, Maya had her thing. The anti-hero, I don't know who the anti-hero was. Maybe Frankie? But anyway, so anyway, Esme got my vote for MVP of season 18 because, we wanted to hear more about Esme and all that. The anti-hero has to be Tristan. Now, Tristan deserves better, but Tristan basically was just being a bitch or something like that. So yeah, so I did all 18 seasons, I did MVPs and all that. So I'm taking all 18 MVPs, put them in a list, and then I gotta add 2 more people. So I'll ask the Reddit community for that, and basically try to see who the top 20 characters are based on being MVPs. So anyway, thank you for listening to this stuff. Me gamer on and on, and we'll go on and on.